The MAGA panic over trans people is fake.
Everything's transgender this, transgender that. Transgender here and transgender there. Transgender for everybody. $8 million for making mice transgender.
It's all made up bull. The record 900 plus anti-trans bills under consideration across the country so far in 2025 are not about protecting women. If they were, the person they'd be banning from women's spaces would be Donald Trump, who was found liable for violently assaulting a woman in a dressing room, and who's bragged about barging in on naked beauty pageant contestants in their dressing rooms. All trans people want is to live with dignity as themselves, just like everybody else. And as for the frenzy over sports, out of 500,000 college athletes in America, you know how many trans athletes there are? Not even 10, according to the president of the NCAA. So why are Trump and Republicans so obsessed with trans people that they can't stop talking and legislating about them? 3 key facts. Number 1. Trump and Republicans are trying to misdirect Americans' anger. There's a lot to be angry about. They ran on lowering prices of groceries and everything else, but haven't introduced any plans to actually do that. Instead, Republican tariffs are driving prices up and economic growth down. They're trying to ram through a bill that would give massive tax cuts to the rich, add more than $2 trillion to the deficit over the next decade, and strip health coverage from more than 13 million Americans. All while Trump is using the White House to make himself rich. None of that has anything to do with trans people. But Trump and Republicans are desperate for distraction. That's why, in his latest press event, Trump brought up trans people 5 times.
Transgender, 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 transgender.
But he didn't mention healthcare or groceries once. Number 2. This is a deadly ploy. Demonizing an already marginalized group is a tactic historically used by fascists to scare the public into supporting them and overlooking their corruption, with horrific consequences. Trans people in America were already 4 times more likely to be victims of violent crime than cis people, especially black trans women. MAGA policies and rhetoric are putting them in even greater danger. Fatal violence against trans people nearly doubled in Trump's first term. Hate crimes against the LGBTQ community overall shot up and have continued to do so as the right's rhetoric has become increasingly dehumanizing. A Washington Post analysis found hate crimes against LGBTQ kids in schools quadrupled in states that have passed anti-LGBTQ laws. MAGA-fueled anti-trans hysteria is even leading to cisgender women being harassed on suspicion of being trans. The cruelest part is the targeting of trans kids. Trump is playing doctor by overriding real doctors and parents to deny trans children the gender-affirming care their doctors have decided is medically necessary and appropriate. This will lead to needlessly lost lives. Number 3. MAGA anti-trans fear-mongering has been so effective that some Democrats have been scared away from defending trans people. But let's be clear. There is nothing extreme or fringe about standing up for the rights of all Americans. It is the MAGA obsession with total strangers' genitalia or where they go to the bathroom that is weird and perverted. MAGA Republicans have been advancing federal and state sports bans that would allow for or even mandate genital inspections of school children. That is not protecting kids, that's child abuse. If Democrats tell these truths boldly, America will see through the fear-mongering. Bonus pride fact. Trump has erased references to trans people from the Stonewall National Monument website. But trans activists, including Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia Rivera, were central to the Stonewall riots which Pride commemorates. On June 28, 1969, NYPD raided the Stonewall Inn to beat up, humiliate, and arrest the bargoers as they had many times before, because gay bars were illegal. But that night, the bargoers fought back, with Johnson and Rivera helping lead the charge. Pride is a declaration that queer Americans will not stand to be bullied, or denied the basic dignities that all people deserve. The Trump administration would be wise to learn this history. I'm Allan Piper at apiper13 and Piperama. Follow Courier Newsroom for the facts you need. And happy Pride!